There. So I think that it's time we finally had the talk. I wanted to talk to you today about how you're dating your customers. Now, don't worry, I won't get you in trouble with your spouse or anything. But if you think about it, your marketing content is a bit like a courtship. There's that first encounter where you're getting to know each other. Your customers are kind of interested, but they're not sure if you're the one yet. And as they get to know you better and read more of your content, they get to fall more in love with you until finally that one day when you sign the dotted line and you commit to a relationship. Hopefully it'll be a happy one. Well, let's talk a little bit about that first date. That first piece of content they read. Say it's a blog post. Now, after you go out on a date, evening comes, you say goodnight, and then what? Do you propose? Most people don't. Do you call them back again? Well, hopefully. Maybe you never talk to them ever again, if it was a bad date, right? So ask yourself, after that first piece of content, that first date, what then? Do you pop the question? Probably a bit too early. Do you just stop communication and not follow up? Well, if you want things to go further with your prospective buyers, you probably ought to follow up somehow or get them to follow up. So what's appropriate? Well, you want to take them to the next step, right? If you think of it as a relationship. And so you do that through something called calls to action. And you will be surprised how many small businesses don't have any kind of call to action at the end of their blogs or on their web pages or their white papers or any of their content. They don't have anything. And they expect that their audience will simply be so excited about their product or their service and what they just read, they'll just go and do the next thing. Well, you need to tell them what the next thing is. They're waiting for you to make the first move. And so you need to create that CTA, the call to action, that tells them this is the next step in our relationship. And you give them more content to read that will get them deeper in the sales funnel. Now, there are a lot of companies that do give a call to action, but they're popping the question right away. And they're asking for marriage. They want the sale immediately after the first blog post, or even the second or third or fourth blog post. You need to think about the buyer's journey, and I've talked about that before in other videos, and think about where your customer is going to be falling in that buyer's journey when they're reading this content. Is it toward the end of the buyer's journey? If so, then yeah, it makes sense to pop that question, to ask for the sale or to ask for a demo. But if they're going to be reading it earlier on in their relationship with you, don't pop the question, but do lead them to the next step. And so you want to think about what that is. So thanks for watching, and go and do great things.